So Senator Tommy Tuberville has thrown his support behind Rick Scott for the Senate GOP leadership. He joins us now, the great Alabama Senator, Mr. Tommy Tuberville. Thank you, Senator Tuberville. We appreciate it. In brief, you want Rick Scott? Rick Scott is a friend. He's been on the show. We've also had John Cornyn on the show. Thune hasn't been on the show. But anyway, Senator, what you thinking here?
Well, they're all friends, Larry, but I'm looking for new blood. I'm looking for new ideas, new ways to do things, somebody that can work with President Trump. That's the main thing. We've got to be able to communicate with the White House. I'm sure both those other two guys can do, but they've been in leadership before. Rick Scott is a professional, was in business in the past, in the healthcare business before he became governor of Florida, and he knows President Trump very, very well. They're on the same page, so I decided to go out and pull a string and put my word in for Rick Scott, but we'll see what happens on Wednesday.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people coming out publicly for Rick Scott. It sounds like, I'm not going to take sides, Lord knows. This is not my business, it's your business. I'm just going to say it sounds like people want a new model. That's really what it sounds like. We've seen the old model. With the advent of Mr. Trump, it's time to go out and, just get the brand new model, if you will.
Well, you're exactly right. As I said, somebody new, somebody that's got different ideas that has made decisions before, Larry, but also can bring people together. This is going to be a tough job fighting against the Democrats and Chuck Schumer. He's going to try to slow everything down, try to put the brakes on President Trump and his agenda, but Rick Scott will fight back. That's what I like, and he'll have new ideas. He'll try to get everybody together on the same page, and we're going to have to do that because these people will not quit. They will come after us every day.
Yeah, even now with this massive landslide, they're nitpicking us to death, and it'll probably get worse and worse. You're right. I had one question. There was some mention by Trump people about using recess appointments, but you will have 53 senators, which should make it a lot easier to confirm cabinet members and so forth. What you think about all that?
Well, you're exactly right, Larry. There's been some votes that have been 2 or 3 hours under Schumer. We sat around, twiddle our thumbs, not do anything. I would like to put a limit on the time for votes. Show up and vote, get it over with where we can get on to the next one. We're going to have 53 senators. It only takes 51 to get a confirmation, so we can do a lot of work in a short period of time. And recess appointments, the same thing. But, I'd like to just do them the way we're supposed to do it the right way. Recess appointments would be fine, but there's a lot of people that going to need to be appointed in the next few months after President Trump gets inaugurated.
Elise Stefanik, Tom Homan, Steve Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff of Policy, Susie Wiles. What you think, Senator?
All-star staff, all-star.
It's a pretty good
crowd. There's going to be even more yeah, great crowd. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the economy. Look at the stock market, Larry.
Yeah.
And read Scott Bessett's Wall Street Journal article yesterday. He put it right on target. Our rocket ship is getting ready to take off in our economy with President Trump.
Yeah, and the skeptics continue, but they don't. Mr. Trump looks at the stock market a lot. And that was the subject of my riff this evening. He loves the stock market's giving him thumbs up. I mean, if he changes policy, maybe not. But right now, the stock market, 2,000 points in just a couple days after the election. That's got to mean something. I got a special one for you, sir. There was a story out. I didn't want to let this one slide. From the Washington Times, Kerry Pickett, okay, Washington Times, good paper. Anyway, this was last Thursday, or Friday's paper. FBI brass stunned and shell-shocked over Trump re-election. Okay, this is a wonderful piece. Stunned and shell-shocked. Now, you know what? That one almost brought tears to my eyes, stunned and shell-shocked. And my thought was, a lot of these agencies, stunned and shell-shocked, and it is time for a change. We got a mandate for change on policy. We got a mandate for change on regulatory issues, on national security issues, on personnel. Really? How about that? Stunned and shell-shocked. The FBI, which, went crashing into Trump's Mar-a-Lago for no good reason at all, totally political, weaponized, as you know better than I, sir.
Well, we should go after a lot of those people, Larry. You know what I'm talking about. This lawfare was ridiculous, going after a former president of the United States. It was all set up. They're not going to quit. They're going to continue to go after President Trump. I don't know what they've got planned for the next 2 months, but, 70 days to inauguration, they'll come up with some kind of plan. But the FBI, the CIA, the one that I am sick and tired of is the IRS. They are weaponized. They're going after Republicans right and left. They're going after farmers. Larry, it is ridiculous what these people are doing, and they're doing it by not going by the law. They're changing the rules themselves of how they're taxing people and going after people's money because they need more money the way they've spent it.
On that point, my pal, on the radio, I was talking to my pal Roger Stone, okay? I'm sure you know Roger Stone. The FBI invaded his house in South Florida for no good reason. I mean, all they had to do was contact his lawyer, and they would have gotten whatever they wanted to get. But instead, they had to have a flamboyant raid, let CNN know about it. I mean, you can't tell me that stuff is even-handed. You can't tell me that stuff wasn't, left-wing, weaponized lawfare. Just like Mr. Trump in Mar-a-Lago, just like these crazy people, they're still at it here in New York City. I mean, we need a change in the law enforcement agencies and the national security agencies. Really, there's a mandate for change out of this landslide. I wouldn't waste time. I wouldn't let the grass grow, sir.
We were looking down the barrel of a gun, Larry. We got very lucky, but really not lucky. President Trump earned this win. He earned it because he worked for it, but people trusted him. They trust him a whole lot more than they do these crazy Democrats. And I'm looking forward to working with him. It's going to be a lot of fun, but he has got a lot of work to do because they're going to come after him, and they dug a hole for him. He's going to get out of the hole before we can even make any progress going forward.
All right. Senator Tommy Tuberville, as always, sir, thank you ever so much for sharing your wisdom with us.